over the top of the king.
What? Like, I can't believe. So now when I go there for the confidence, I'm playing 0 minutes, and I never played 0 minutes in my life. So you don't know what's the NBA until you in the NBA. It's a lot of things that you don't know. At that time, this is really when I start getting obsessed with working.
Have you ever doubted that you belonged in the NBA? What made you think that it was okay to dunk on American sweetheart LeBron James in front of the world like that?
I think it was just being just fearless.
What year did you get drafted in the NBA?
2016.
2016. How did it feel to have that opportunity to be drafted?
I was hoping to get drafted, first of all, because it's something that you can't control. I was supposed to go end of first round, beginning of second round. This is really what I was projected to be. My feeling going there was just like, okay, this is the biggest stage of my life, especially at that time that I was at. I remember my mom being here with me, my agent. So it was a moment that I was definitely living for. I was really happy. And like I said, I was blessed to be able to be in this position. And I felt like even if, let's say, it don't go my way and I don't get drafted, just the experience to have done it, to actually went there to the Barclays Center, being there, it was just, this is something that I've watched on TV.
I know.
Just to be part of it was like, oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the moment.
Then what happened when you were sitting there and you projected to be a little bit lower?
Yeah.
Take me back to that moment when something happens.
It's like till this day, I couldn't understand what happened. The emotion that I received at that moment, I've just never had that my whole life, because you gotta understand, like, I get drafted 16. I was nowhere near that in my mind, because it's like, we got drafted by Boston. Boston haven't talked to my agent the whole time.
Yeah.
So it's a real surprise.
And then because you didn't know, like, where were you when you were about to be drafted?
So I was gonna bring it, because it's like, in my mind, I'm getting drafted like end of first round, so I'm taking my time. I'm over there, I'm on the calls, I'm watching. My friends try to calm me down, and then it's like, I think 11 of maybe 12 picks. Like, I want to go pee, so I told my agent, can we go to the restroom? It's like, yeah, we're going there. Boom, boom, boom. We're coming back. I think it's pick like 13, 14. I'm on the phone, and then it's one thing behind the scene that you see is the cameras coming a little bit, a couple of seconds, couple of minutes before the guy that's gonna get drafted next, just to prepare and then be there at the moment. So you kind of like know
I'm being drafted.
who's gonna get there.
Yeah.
So, like I said, 13, 14, I'm talking on the phone, boom, boom, time goes, 15, it goes by, and then 15, we there, and then we see the cameras, start coming up. So my agent was sitting there, I was there, my other agent was there, I think my mom was there. So they coming up, and then even my agent just try to move out the way a little bit to let them go past, and then they stop. So when they stop, I'm talking on the phone, my friend talking, but I'm just paying attention to what's going on here, And then my agent's like, and then it's like, yeah, you guys next. And they say, Guershon?
In disbelief.
He says, yeah. He says, Yabusele? He said, yeah. And then he said, Guershon, Yabusele. And even the guy laughed. He said, yeah, like it shows the paper.
Yeah.
And then we next. So now he's looking at me like his eyes are open. and then even me, like, they're still talking. I'm just looking at it. I can't understand what's going on. And then he's shaking my hands, grab me a little bit. So we're doing this before Adam Silver coming, right? So from now on, I had this. It's so funny. I have to show you guys the pictures. Like I had a smile the whole night, and it was like a nervous smile that
Yeah.
was like, what is going on? What's
My life
this?
is about to
Like
change.
what? What? Like I can't believe. I remember grabbing my mom. What do you call my name? She was just crying, and then I was trying to the bottom my suit, like I was just shaking, and then I got the hat. I was trying to put it back because it wasn't fitting. It was just a crazy feeling. I'm going down the stairs. I'm like, please don't fall. Please don't do anything crazy. And then I passed by Timothy that was down there on the green room. I remember because Timothy, my brother, so we hug each other, and he was just so happy for me. Then I'm walking up, and then from there on, I got an interview. I keep smiling. I went on the back. He will all the media from the whole world, and then you feel like, oh my God, my life is changing right now. Like this is, I did it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what's gonna be next,
Mm.
but I got drafted.
Yeah.
The best part is Timothy got drafted. Isaiah Cordier got drafted. Peter Corneli got drafted. So the four French guy that was there, we get drafted. It was amazing.
That's
and
super
then
cool.
we all played together, so we know each other.
Yeah.
After the draft, my agent's like, yeah, we know this restaurant is open late. So me, I'm still in disbelief. Like, you know, so we go to the restaurant. Timothée is there with his family. Isaiah is there with his family. Like, how crazy is this?
I know you guys got to
We
live
didn't
like
even
together.
text each other. Like we get drafted and we finish in the same restaurant with our family. Like we couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And then that make the moment 1,000 times better. And I'm like, oh my, I'm looking at them like, guys, this is a start for us. Can you guys believe like we was young guys playing against each other? It's like we here today. So
Yeah.
it was like me thinking about the draft is just a moment that was the beginning of, I don't want to say my career, but that was the start
Yeah.
of that professional life and everything that I've been to my life since then, for sure.
Do you think that arriving that early in the NBA, you were prepared enough to succeed?
I would say yes and no. I want to say yes, because I was in China. Um, I was playing a role on the team that was completely different from what I've been doing my whole life, which is be on the team. You're a foreign player. We give you the ball. What you gonna do with it? Do something. Try to score. Try to, you know, get the guys involved. Try to, you know, my role was completely different. When I'm going back to Boston, I'm fully confident. So this prepare me. And when I say no is you don't know what's the NBA until you in the NBA. It's a lot of things that you don't know that you never experienced. For me was to come and not play for games.
Yeah, yeah.
And when I say not playing for games, it's 0 minutes. Sometimes it's a little bit of garbage time, but you know, it happened if
What's garbage time?
so garbage time, that's what they call it. It's like, let's say if we win by 30 in the fourth quarter and then we see that the other teams cannot come back, especially when it's like 5, 4 minutes or 3 minutes left, then this is when let's say the guys that play less minute or like rookies or like things like that get to play. Or if you lose also by a lot, and then we see that like we're not coming back, same scenario. So this is those little time that don't count, let's say, in effective way of the game, but will count for you to kind of like prove yourself, show yourself, or, you know, show that you're prepared and, you know, so we can give you a chance. And then sometimes you gotta understand, you might win or not, or at the last minute, we see that you're not gonna win. You might go to garbage time for 1 minute. Sometimes it's 30 seconds. Like you gotta, it's like you gotta think it's hard because in the NBA, I want to say most of the player that's in the NBA at some point, they have been the main guy on the team.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Either college, either high school, either, you know, whatever you're going through, you've been there. So you experience, you having the ball, you be the guy, you know, everybody say, yo, are you the star, you the next one. So you gotta understand when we boost your confidence like this every day, when you get to the NBA, you don't play, and you get to that, it's hard
Yeah.
for you to understand and comprehend what's going on, you know? So I had to go to this. I was in China. I was playing with Jimmer for that. It was two foreigner player. We was playing so much minutes. We get the ball. He was scoring so many points. I was scoring points, you know, so we get used. So now when I go there for the confidence, I'm playing 0 minutes, and I've never played 0 minutes in my life. So this is the thing that, you know, unfortunately you cannot get prepared for that until
Right.
you experience that.
Yeah. And I see it also like with rookies, there is a hierarchy where you can't be on the table for too long. Like it's almost like sometimes we don't prepare them right away because some guys are gonna go before you.
Yeah.
So it's hard to find sometimes the solution for them to understand already at a young age how to take care of themselves. Have you ever doubted that you belonged in the NBA?
Yes, for sure. For sure. And I'm completely, you know, honest and open about it because it happened. You know, that's part of adversity. That's part of basketball, especially when you're a competitor, especially when you want to achieve and you got goals. It happened when things don't go your way. But the thing is, how you gonna react to that? This is the most important thing. Me, it was like get to work, and I really got because that doubt happened, especially when I was in Boston not playing. You know, I'm thinking about, oh, maybe I don't have the level for this. Maybe I'm not working hard, like we say. You know, maybe, you know, you got a lot of maybe in your mind. So
Yeah, when you don't play, it
it's
just
a lot of
piles up.
things. It's just a lot of things. So you think, you doubt, and then like I said, the way you're gonna react to this is gonna be important. Are you gonna let this thought coming and then just beat you down and get frustrated every day and not be happy, or are you gonna react like, okay, I'm gonna work more. You know what? Let me go get it. You know what? Let me be on that mode. So the mission that you're gonna set for you, now you're gonna go achieve it. So me, just because I was working a lot, especially on the side, I was coming back in shape all the time. At that time, this is really when I start getting obsessed with working. This is really when my mind, my body was just telling me work every day.
Did it
What
feel
is-
like you had like a little voice just keep on like
Yeah,
pushing you?
pushing me all the time, all the time. And I remember when things get hard, it's just when I feel the best. Um,
So you react well to pressure.
yes, it's something that I've learned to love over the years.
Love over the how did you learn to love that type of like down so that you can go up?
I feel like just experience and being in those situations. It was funny because the other day we was talking about it with a friend or my agent, and we realized that, you know, since Boston, I had to go get everything that was in front of me. I never had something easy coming up to me. Even contract wise or anything, you know, after Boston, I was trying to go to Nanjing. It was so complicated. I had to leave. Then I had to go back to show myself again. Then I left. Then Asvel wanted to sign me, but it was like, okay, we're going to sign for 1 year. And then we're going to see what he does. It went great. Then this decided to sign me. I went to Madrid. It was like, we're going to sign him for 1 year to see what he does. He went great again. So they signed me for over the years. I went to Philly. It was like, okay, we're going to sign him for 1 year. And then I had to prove myself again. And then I had the chance to come back in the NBA. Then I was with New York also. Then I wasn't playing a lot. Then the trade happened. And then I went back to Chicago. And then in Chicago, I had to play. And then, you know, I'm finishing the season pretty well. You know, so it's just being in those situations. When that happened, I'm just not thinking.
Yeah.
I'm just like, go to work.
Yeah. It feels like
Let's go to work.
stairs.
Yeah.
Dum, yeah.
Exactly. It's just when I'm on that type of situation, I'm thinking about what's next. Okay, let me do that. Let me focus. Let me try to give myself a chance to be able to be in the best situation for myself,
Yeah.
for my family, for all the people that's around me. And also Kobe Bryant is one of my favorite player, the favorite player.
Yeah.
So I was watching him at a young age when I didn't know if I want to play basketball, when I want to play boxer, when I want to be a soccer, whatever. And then his work ethic is off the chart. I've often talked about it with other athletes. I'm like, you can understand his impact was so much of an impact. He's influenced other athletes in other sports.
Yeah.
And even people that's not in the sport
That are not
are
athletes.
inspired for just how much he works, how much he's willing to do the sacrifice and everything around to be the best. I knew I wanted to play basketball when my friend is like, oh, you want to go out and do this? I'm like, no, I'm okay. And then I'm just going to the stadium around my house and just shooting basketball for like an hour and a half, just by myself, making scenario, 5, 4, 3, like buzzer beater, like, and then you keep on doing it. And this is how the love of the basketball comes.
Yeah.
But this is also when the work comes and you understand what you want.
Yeah.
And then I was working at a young age, but after that, Boston, I was like, yeah, this is what I got to do. Taking care of my body. I have to do this. I have to do that. Sometimes we're talking about yoga, like the stretching is so important. Meditation, all the things that comes around. Like you got to clear your mind.
Yes.
And you just gotta. When you work, you work. You have no time to just work, laugh, and do this. We can do this later. Right now, I got to work because all this work is gonna carry me for the next steps.
That's exactly right. I truly believe that in pro sport and in the NBA in general, health is a currency. And what I want to know is, when did you realize that it was time to really take care of your body?
The thing is, when I was young, like 10 years ago, even younger than that, um, being a young pro, of course, you hear the older guys talking about, taking care of your body, doing the little things. But when you're young, you don't really realize that because I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
I'm having practice here. I'm coming back the next day. I'm feeling good. Like you don't have, let's say, the same issues that they get too. So you don't really realize and understand how important it is until something happens.
And that's where it's tricky.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And then me, in my case, when I was in Boston the first years, that was the first time that I don't play games. So I had to go through this. So now, mind that I'm keeping the same, not lifestyle, but as far as like food and everything, I'm keeping it the same, but I'm playing less. So what happened is I got heavier, So from that, then I'm looking and then I don't realize that I'm getting heavier because I'm still able to move.
Yeah. So you don't feel like it was impacting your game?
At first, no. And then what happened is, I'm waking up next morning and then, my left knee is a little bit sore today. Okay, let's go to this. Oh, the right is a little bit sore. And then I was just like having new problem, I would say, on my body that I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe I'm putting a lot of more pressure on my knees now. So let's take care of your body. So I had to lose weight. And this is like when I started bringing my trainer from France, and then he was staying like months at the house, and we were just working every day on the side to make sure I'm healthy. So I was losing a lot of weight. So now that I was back in shape, all those pains are gone.
They go away if you eat properly, if you move properly, and then if you also, as a performance therapist, we do a lot of work for recovery and injury prevention. Actually, I'm interested to know what are the therapies now that you're doing. So I know that you take care of your nutrition. You're very interested in making sure that you put the right nutrition in your body, and we do some functional medicine also to analyze your body at a cellular level. What else do you do to help your body sustain that level?
So after that, I was really just doing with the trainer. And then 1 year when I went to the national team, I've met this girl that know everything about the body and she prevent injuries. Her name is Doris. So this is what I really like start.
I was like, who is
So,
he? I need to meet her. She's French.
So this is when we really start. When you actually worked on my body. I remember the first European Championship that I saw you. Then you looked. You was like, I mean, I'm having great feeling with your body right now, so you don't really need to work a lot. And then we still had like one session, and then I was seeing how you was working, and then the way I respond that next day, the 2 days after that, 3 days, and I was like, oh my God, I'm actually feeling good right now.
Yeah, that's the thing that you don't realize with manual therapy. It can hurt sometimes,
It does sometimes. Yeah.
but it's how you feel after and
Afterwards.
how you can push yourself
Yes.
more. And like sometimes players say like they feel safer.
Oh yeah.
They feel safer and they can push themselves just more.
I mean, you do feel that, and especially the fact that also you know what you're doing.
Mhm.
Like, and then you can also sometimes I remember it was some morning you was looking at me, you was like, you're walking a little bit like this right now. I know I gotta work right now on the calf, on this, on that, because you're putting pressure like this. So it also prevent injuries.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because when you don't work with medical therapists, like you don't see that. As a player, I don't see that. Oh, okay, I'm walking like this. So maybe my balance is a bit on the left side, and you know, so those things helped me. So after that, I knew like, oh my God, this is so important. Now I understand when you got guys like NBA guys, they'd be like, oh, I spend that much money on my body. Oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. It makes sense now.
Yeah.
Like you just understand that to be healthy, to be on the top of your performance, you just gotta take care of your body.
Yeah.
It is,
That's the only way.
There's no secret.
That's the only way.
There's no secret.
Health is the currency.
Yeah.
There's
It's just no secret. And then obviously this season, especially last season also, that I was back in the NBA, it was easier to get in contact with you. And then I was like, you know what, Doris, like we just gotta try to way to do this more often. And
Yeah.
if-
I
if-
remember, your agent calling me and he was like, hey, he said that he really feels good
Oh, yeah.
after your treatment, and that he doesn't feel anything, like he can just play freely. So we need to talk.
Yeah, this is like I wasn't thinking about anything. I was just on the court, and then I was like, I'm feeling really good right now. Like I'm jumping, I'm shooting, I'm running. I don't feel even that much tired. I just feel like, oh my God, I just got to think about basketball, you know. And this is what made the difference for me. And then I really understand that this is so important.
That's a good comment. I can't just think about basketball and not about my body feeling a certain
For
way.
sure.
That's a
Because, you know, it's like sometimes, some days, you feel like you feel good, and then you feel like I still got to get a good warm up. Okay, I got the little things right there. You know what? Let me just warm up so the little pain goes away. Like, you know, little thing, not saying it's big injuries, but little things. And then this, I don't have it. It's like, even that I'm not warm, I feel like, oh, I can just get going. You know?
It's a weird feeling.
It was just a
Yeah.
great feeling, great feeling, great experience. So when I realized that, and I was like, okay, you know what? I need to spend, even if it's money, you still got to do it. You know, it come with it, and we're fortunate enough to be in a situation when you can pay for those things
You can.
and still live a good life. So this is gonna be my advice to the young people coming up. Don't wait to be injured. Don't wait when it's too late for you to take care of your body. Just do it when you feel good, so you can
Say
feel
it
good.
again.
No, that's true. It's just
Tell them.
it's like don't wait. Don't wait to get hurt. Don't wait until it's too late. Because you got to work on your body right now, even when you feel good, so you keep feeling good for years to come. So just take care of your body, and this is gonna be my advice for sure.
Yeah. Or even if you just want to make more money, lengthen your career. If you only think about
True.
that, I just want to make more money. Take care of
True.
your body.
And that's a fact, because the money that you're gonna spend on your body is the money that you're gonna get back for you playing for years. So it's just a great investment on yourself.
Yeah, I agree. So we talked about taking care of your body. Have you ever tried the hyperbaric chamber?
I've never tried.
You've never tried?
I've heard of it.
I want to take you to a special place where you can try it.
Nice, let's do it.
Welcome to the future.
Yeah, definitely future. It is the future. That was definitely my first time getting in there, and it felt great. The oxygen, everything was perfect. I like the feature that you can have like TVs, like you can be reading, you can adjust the position. I mean, it's just, and I'm claustrophobic.
The Knicks trusted you enough and had enough respect to find a way to trade you because you
Yeah.
were just not in the right situation. It happens. How do you process that emotionally?
It was my first time getting traded. I've heard it, I've seen it, but I've never been a part of it. So it was something new. And I really realized how fast it is because I got drafted one night, and the next morning I was on another flight to go meet my new team on the road in Toronto and play that night. So
That's crazy.
it was fast. It
Yes.
was less than 24 hours.
Yeah.
But still, when I've heard the trade come in, I was, prepared because it's something it's a thought that I have in my mind that, you know what, if you get traded, you got to be ready for the next team.
Yeah.
This is no excuse.
Yeah.
Whatever happened before happened before. Now you have to be prepared for the next game with the new team.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not just you. That's what people don't realize. It's your family,
Yeah.
your friends, your kids. You were on the phone with me like, okay, get ready. You might gonna have to change your flight. Because so I'm like waiting, looking on the internet.
It's a big change for everybody.
Yes.
If you got kids, you got to think about a lot of things. Then you be like, okay, do we move them? So we got to find a new school now.
Yes.
Do you not? How do we do that? Okay, but if maybe they don't come, you might have to spend a period of time without seeing them, without seeing the family. Okay, what do you do?
That's tough.
Same thing with you. Are we planning already? We got you know what? We got to change all the tickets
Because
that we have.
it's not just changing the tickets, it's also reorganizing
Everything.
my schedule.
Yeah.
Because there is other players that I take care of,
Exactly.
other team I work with.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, now I have to find a way to give him the same attention with a
Yep.
different schedule.
Exactly. So, it's all of the things that you got planned, prepare. I had some friends that had tickets to come see me when I was playing with New York, let's say in LA. They was like, yo, I got my flight. Yo, okay. And then the next day the trade happened, they'd be like, oh my God. So how are we gonna do? So now
And my ticket is not refundable.
it's like, different things like that. So sometimes things don't go as planned. And then sometimes you gotta find a plan B, plan C, plan D, whatever, so.
So let me take you back to the Paris Olympics.
Yes.
USA versus France.
All right.
What made you think that it was okay to dunk on American sweetheart, LeBron James?
I think it was just being just fearless. At that time, at that moment, we was just not thinking of anything. We just look at them as men, like always. When we play against players, doesn't matter their career or what they achieve or anything that they've done to the game. At the end of the day, it's 5 against 5. So obviously we know who was playing. I think with one of the best USA team that we've seen in our generation, especially with, like you name it, like LeBron James, Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, and not to take anything away from the rest of the team.
Yeah.
There was so many stars on that team,
Yeah.
They had a great team, but I feel like, we was home. We felt good after that run that we had with the quarterfinals, semifinals.
You felt inspired.
So of course we got there with telling our mind that why not? If you got to do the impossible, this is the right place. We at home. We in Paris.
Yeah.
So we felt that extra push. At that time when the action happened, I was just not thinking anything.
You just saw a player, not a name on the player.
I saw it was him, but in my mind, it's like there's just no other way around.
Mm.
I gotta go for the dunk. Maybe I will get blocked. Maybe I'm gonna miss, but I gotta go for the block.
Yeah.
I gotta go for the dunk. And a couple of action before that, he blocked me when I was trying to lay up, and then he was talking on the way back. What was funny is when I was going back, I can hear, but I was like, I'm not gonna turn around, you know. So I kept going. So when that happened, LeBron James is a great dunker, great shot blocker too. So I'm thinking, yeah, it's no way, no way. I just gotta go. And then whatever happened, but I gotta go for the dunk. And then that action happened.
And so when that happened, does it happen slow motion, like, oh, or like boom, and then you're like, fuck, what did happen?
I think it's a mix of everything. I would say slow motion because it's like when I go, I'm seeing myself in the air, he's there. And then I'm seeing him not jumping.
Mm.
And then me jumping over him would give me a little push in the air. So this is like I'm going, and then I'm like, and then I dunked it. Then when I dunk it, I was hyped, but then I looked at the referees because I was like, okay,
Is it a foul or yeah.
It's an offensive foul. This is just a regular foul. So I'm a little bit confused, and everybody looked. And then when he hit like the bodies, I'm like, oh man. And then we start like a little bit getting hyped.
Mm.
But at the same time, we play one of the best basketball team in the world.
Yeah.
We got to go back in the game now.
Yeah.
It was quick, and
it's mental. This game is so mental.
Super mental.
Yeah.
So it's like at that point, I remember even a couple of days after that when I was watching the highlight, I was like, oh my God, this is like one of the best highlights of my life. And I feel like I should have celebrated a little bit more.
Mhm.
Like, like watching it back, I was like, I should have gone on the bench, I should scream, watch the stand or like the fans or whatever. But this is how much was focused on that game.
Yeah. And it's at that time, it's not about you, it's about your country,
for sure.
Your teammates.
For
so
sure.
you don't probably have time to think that much.
I really don't. It's not the same. I've had some great dunks in my career. You can tell the difference. Like I was celebrating a little bit, like doing something. This was like a quick, like,
and let's get back.
Couple of words, and then we went there. I looked at their bench, letting them know, man, we here.
Yeah.
We here. So we got back to it, got my free throw, and I went back, and then I felt the energy. And then I remember that moment, the whole world, like you can hear the whole gym just going crazy. Like it was just, it's like you can't even hear it to no more. Like you're on another planet right now. It's like, okay, like we are doing this right now.
Yeah, I remember it's like being surrounded by just like a positive, amazing energy.
Right now. Like it's just the whole vibes was just something. I don't know if it will be possible to ever like leave something like that because this was in Paris, like I always say.
Yeah.
Even if the next Olympic we go to finals, and in Japan we did the finals. It was different because we didn't have no fans because of COVID, but still, like that type of environment, home. I remember watching my family. I remember watching the people that I love just being there at that moment, like feeling the same thing I'm feeling. It was just crazy.
Yeah, it
was just crazy.
Yeah. And then what happened? How did your life change after that event?
Man, it was just crazy. Because after that, I'm not thinking. Obviously, I'm a competitor, so we lost the game. So I'm trying to wrap my head around it. Like, oh my God, we came this close. Like, this, we could have it. And you're thinking about the game, what you could have done differently, what can you could bring, and I'm thinking about all of this. So I'm trying to grab my phone to call my wife. My mom was there too with my dad, so just try to get in contact with them. But then my phone, it keeps on like vibrating, ringing, and it was crazy. So I was just trying to take my time away from this because now I'm trying to be with my family right now.
Yeah.
So I'm with them. At the same time that I'm with them, I'm looking at some of the people around here, like looking at me like, oh my God, yo, you did something right now, like but I'm not thinking of it. And then at night we go over there. my agent, when I talked to him, he was like, "Oh my God, like the game and everything," and then he was like, "All right, I'm gonna let you rest for a couple of days, but we have plenty of teams now. It's calling."
You've played under very different leadership in the NBA, the EuroLeague, the national team. In your experience, what separates a talented team from a winning culture?
Me personally, I would think it's the chemistry that we have on the team with the players, with the coaching staff, the relationship that we have also. Do we cherish each other, or do we want to be out there and then just be the main guys? I think all of this play a part of it to the winning culture. Everybody understanding his role too. A guy that come 2 minutes, is he gonna come play 2 minutes and try to play all the balls, or is he gonna stay in his role, play 2 minutes, and give everything for the team? I think it's the mindset that you set yourself to be on a team when you want a team to win. Sometimes that when I'm thinking about a national team, it's 12 guys. So if the 12 guys in the national team, that means the 12 guys are pretty good. And the 12 guys top of the country, I would say, right? So everybody can feel a way of thinking like, I'm on this team, I want to be the guy. But do we really understand what the team needs for us to be successful as a group? So I think all of this mindset play a part. One of the most success that I've got on my career so far was in Madrid.
Mm.
Being able to be out there, be able to see the culture, how they work, how they play with each other. Doesn't matter if, let's say, I don't like you outside of the court. When we on the court, that's what's really matter.
That's important.
And then all of this little thing, the sacrifice, the roles, sometimes guys winning titles and not scoring in that game, but they as happy as they scored 20 points, being happy for your teammate when you play a good game and maybe you don't, and you guys play the same position, like little things like that just carry itself at the end, and then that's how you see a team winning from a team not winning. This is what I see myself. And then sometimes I remember in Madrid, we was doing a lot of things also outside. It was a team, like going to dinner, like, sometimes it was group with like 4 or 5 players that live next to each other. You know, I remember me, like my house was next to a lot of other players' house. We just come sometimes, um, relax, chill at the
Yeah.
house, watch
Yeah.
a movie.
The friendship is important because you're going to war together.
Like sometimes as me, I see teams as like families.
Mhm.
You gotta understand, we on the road so many times, we travel so many times, like we doing all the things. I'm seeing you more than my family. You gotta be important. Like we have
Yeah.
to build something. We have to have a certain type of relationship, even if I don't want to. It's like we're gonna be together from that beginning of the season till the end for so many days. So we gotta have kind of like a relationship, even if it's just like a hello, how you doing? Good, you? Okay, thank you, bye. Just that. We have to have little things that we like, okay, we at least respect each other.
Yeah.
This is so important.
And for my last question, if you had the opportunity to have young Guerschon in front of you, this little kid from Rouen, what would you tell him?
Life is hard. Life is hard. Nothing that you're gonna see in front of you is gonna be easy. Um, you're gonna have to go get most of the stuff, but don't discourage yourself. Believe in yourself. Believe in what you can bring to the table. Be the best version of yourself. Think positive, be positive, and let things handle themselves. But just be the best version of yourself and go out there and compete. And surround yourself by positive people.
Nice.